And we are live. Before we start talking, let's get that brand up. All right, so we are live again. This is labeled as week 3. I think it's actually week 4 of the Kickstarter. So I've got my buddies Alfred and Justin here. So go ahead and Alfred, introduce yourself. Tell them what you're about.
How you doing? My name's Alfred Page. I run Page One Comics / ComicsBurgh. My titles are Blowtorch, Pinpoint, Chess, and the new one, Daisy Chain. And I'm just here to, be part of the family today.
Part of the family. We are family. That's a Pittsburgh thing. We are family. It's the old pirates from the 70s. That's what they're holding. We are family.
There you go.
When they was winning championships, they don't win anything now though. Go ahead, Justin.
Hi, I'm Justin Cristelli. I think this is the first time I've been here. Thanks for having me. And I am an independent comic creator and novelist. I spearhead Manos Publishing, and that's where I do the comic book series Red Knight, as well as I publish novels Davida, Caprice, and I have a Kickstarter right now for my newest book of short horror stories, Ladybug Horror Collection. And I have Red Knight 8 planned for later this year.
Awesome. So you said you do novels. Are those available through like Amazon or library system?
Correct. Yeah. Matter of fact, Davida is available on my website, Manos Publishing. It's available in Kindle, Amazon, and Barnes & Noble.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Very good.
I know it's really awesome. When you publish something through like their Amazon publishing house, when you
was it KDP?
Yeah, KDP. I never remember that name. And every time I publish anything through KDP, it automatically goes to their services, like Kindle and Barnes & Noble. You can go to barnesandnoble.com or the store and order one of my books, and it's kind of awesome.
Cool.
That's fantastic, man. That's good news.
I love it, and it's also in Goodreads. That and the Red Knight comics.
Oh,
okay.
The comics through Goodreads also?
Yeah, I actually don't know how they got there. I just was looking through Goodreads one day. I was like, wait, my books are here.
Right.
And I think one of my fans posted the Red Knight comics on there. And
oh, cool.
Yeah, I know, it's really neat.
All right.
Nice.
Let's pop up the Kickstarter. So we are currently, I believe, 72% funded.
Yeah.
Still 8 days to go. We're a little less than $1,100 to go. So for all of you people out there who are waiting for the last minute, jump on now. Yesterday I did add another stretch goal. So once we get to 3,000, we're going to swap out the issue 8 cover and give you the Chibi Blaine Interim Mystic Trinity cover. So as you know, that these are the Trinity of the Edge. So not saying that they're my favorite characters, but they are the characters that I most am in tune with. At 3,500, we can still get to that Revenant minifigure. Once we pass those two, hopefully sometime this week, I'll pop up something for 4,000 and then 4,500, and then if we make it to 5,000.
Very awesome. Very awesome.
So, I mean, if like I said, if you're waiting, jump on now so that we can get those other things added, because I want to add as much as I can to make sure that everybody's getting everything they want out of the Kickstarter. So since we were talking about Justin's Kickstarter.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, no problem. So let me share that. So tell us what this is about.
Let's see. Yeah, I normally do Kickstarters for the Red Knight comic. Let's see. Right here, I usually do that. But right now, I am for the Halloween season. I have a book of short horror stories, and the lead story is called Ladybug, and it's a collection of short horror stories. These are non-comic. These are prose stories, and I gotta say, this was a really fun challenge. I wrote most of these earlier this year, and a couple I had hanging out, ready to publish. Ladybug is about three guys who wake up after a hard night of drinking, and they must have done something terrible because there's a woman who is filled with bugs stalking each one of them, and
Oh wow.
that's the lead story. And then I have a couple other horror stories. One about a guy who's a house flipper who wants to get rid of some ghosts out of this house he's trying to sell. So he hires a bunch of different ghost hunters to get rid of it. And that's a mystery, and as well as Don't Be Late, which is probably one of my favorite things I've ever written. And that's, I don't know if you guys ever heard of like the ghost hitchhiker story.
Mm-hmm.
But the ghost hitchhiker story is basically like, oh, I was driving, I picked up this young girl who was on the road, and I took her back home, and then the parents tell me she was dead, and she's been dead this whole time, and isn't that creepy? Mm-hmm. And I thought, I've heard this story a bunch of times, and I've never heard the parents' perspective. And it's about that. It's about these parents whose daughter died, and every Saturday night, somebody tries to bring her ghost home every week. And I also did a short story on the superhero Stardust. He's a public domain Golden Age character. I submitted a story idea to like this cool anthology book, and it didn't get picked up. And I still like the story enough to go ahead and write a short story version of it. And it's basically him coming back to Earth after 50 years, realizing a religion has been built about him, and worships him, and where we go from there. And that's kind of it. It's the first time I've done a Kickstarter for a non-comic book. If you don't count the Krampus in the Corner book I did a few years back. But I love horror as much as I love superheroes, and I am planning a Red Knight Kickstarter within a couple months after I do this one. And it's a small goal for this Kickstarter. I don't really need much to get it out there, but this is a chance to get in early on it. I'm including some cool things like a tote bag and like a bookmark. Like anybody who backs the book $10 and over will get a bookmark with their name on it, and it'll be my way of thanking the backers.
It's really nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Thanks.
So when you were talking about the Phantom Hitchhiker thing, it made me think of two things.
Yeah.
From Creepshow 2, when she ran the guy over and he keeps following her around. Saying, thanks, lady. Thanks for the ride.
Yeah.
And then the scene, Large Marge from Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah. There's been a whole bunch of different stories like that. I remember hearing the ghost hitchhiker story as a kid and finding that really creepy, and that always stuck with me. And I'll either hear versions of that story done as like obvious fiction, or people trying to tell you it really did happen. Although there's no real case of it. Like if you search, you'll only find the urban legend over and over again. You won't really find an actual recorded case of it. And I was listening to a version of that story like a year or so ago, and I realized like no one has ever talked about the parents, like ever. And that's got to be stressful, right? So that's kind of what kind of got me thinking, like, what would this do to people after years?
Right.
And I don't know. I've really enjoyed writing that story.
Cool.
Very good. Very good.
Of urban legends, that's to be a good segue to our studio mate. Grant has a Kickstarter coming up for his League of Cryptids issue 2.
Oh, cool.
So again, it's those legendary monsters, Sasquatch, the Loch Ness Monster, Mothman, Jersey Devil, and Chupacabra, are joining forces to defend the Earth from an alien attack. So he successfully funded for issue 1. So then he's coming back for issues 1 and 2. So this is launching soon. It's always good to have segues into things. So like I was trying to figure out a way how to bring this up, and like the your Kickstarter was a perfect segue into myths and legends of things that are going bumping the night in our little world here.
Wow, this is the first time I'm seeing this, and Mothman is all white. That's an interesting take.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool.
Yeah, he did issue 1 already through Kickstarter. It's a pretty good book. Pretty good book. I mean, and not just saying that because he's part of ComicsBurgh, but yeah, I enjoyed also. So
very good, very good.
Yeah, I mean, he said is that we're at Comics, we're about quality of titles and variety of titles. So like we've got the mystery, we've got the sci-fi, we've got heroes, we've got horror, we've got legendary monsters. We've got serial killers, so I mean, we're trying to capture the entire audience if possible with the books that we're releasing, just for fun. Like we want to just show that there's a lot of things going on out there. And speaking of that, so since we segue there, we can segue to another one. So let me get that up. That's not what I want to do. Stop that.
I envy you on the horror stories, and I never got a knack for horror stories.
But you never got into horror comics?
I tried it. I mean, it's not really my forte. But speaking of that, this is my first chance at a crime thriller, Daisy Chain. So for those that's following Daisy Chain, issue 1 came out, did fantastic, did very well, and which went into a demand for a second print. And this second print will also be available at New York Comic Con, table 3935. We'll have the foil edition and some limited editions at New York Comic Con to promote the new Daisy Chain comic book.
What's the date of New York Comic Con?
October 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th. I will be down there doing a signing for Daisy Chain and the release of that particular cover. That's the only place that you'll be able to get this cover. Only convention you'll be able to get this cover in the foil version. It will not be reprinted past New York Comic Con.
Oh, you're going back into the 90s days with the foil covers, huh?
Yeah, well, foil covers that came out for this cover came out fantastic with the chrome and everything that's on the cover. So it came out really good, and you want people that been following Daisy Chain. The response to it has been so enormous that we want people to get something special at this New York Comic Con event, and something that's limited. You only could get it here at New York Comic Con. So or this month in previews, unless you order the regular one in previews. So which is available for pre-order right now.
We'll segue into that one in a minute. So let me just flip through everything you have here. So what's this cover for?
Now this one in particular is a friend of mine named Terrence Baker. And one of my artists, Edge and ComicsBurgh, on the same day, I say within the same hour, said, you know something, I would like to draw something. You know, I just want to draw something. And then 5 minutes later, I was talking to Terrence Baker. He's like, hey, you know, I'd love to see your take on Pink Hammer. And I was like, all right, well, I mean, since both of y'all are in that mood, let's do something. And I put an idea together. I passed it to Edge and ComicsBurgh, and he came up with this drawing. And I wanted the colors, and we posted it, and they got so much of a feedback. It was like, you know something? Let's make a comic book out of it. So I started writing, and we started doing pages, and now you can look forward to a Pink Hammer chess comic book in 2025.
Nice.
And that will also introduce a new character called Blazing Sun, as you can see in the background there.
Right. I was going to ask you the character. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to do something. I never really did a superhero comic book before. Like, chess is like espionage,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to do something, a superhero style comic book, and that's how Blazing Sun came around. And I want to introduce him through the pages of this crossover, and then lead into his own comic book later on
Cool.
in the year.
I'm just going to
So-
say how much I really, if you don't mind me saying, I was going to really say how much I was I've seen this image before you posted a few days ago. And I was really
Yes.
taken with Blazing Sun's look. I think he looks fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was going to say the
Thank
only
you.
thing he's missing is the Afro pick with the fist on it.
It might be there. It might be there. It might be there. It might with the silver picks. It might be there.
Yeah.
That just got invented.
You might see that in the future. It might be one of the comic book covers. So
Right.
yeah,
So
yeah.
now one of the like the promo items has to be for the character. Like if he comes into his own book or does like a crowdfund, it has to be a pick. It has to come with a pick as an accessory.
Has to come with the Afro pick with the fist on it.
With the fist on it, right?
And,
Right. So
and,
now,
a bottle of Carefree. And a bottle of Carefree Curl. And a bottle of Carefree Curl. Yellow bottle of Carefree Curl next to it.
See, these things just write themselves. Here we go.
I was going to say
for those that remember Carefree Curl. That's for those who remember Carefree Curl. You know what I mean?
Well, you could have said Soul Glow from Coming to America. I think that'll be more recognizable to some people.
And funny enough, Coming to America is on TV right now. That's what I'm watching. Soul Glow. It's on TV right now. So yeah, that's hilarious.
Right. So
but
I would think Blazing Sun wouldn't use any kind of product like that. He probably uses like juices and berries in his hair to make it look like that. It's cool.
We're gonna play with it, but his hair is definitely cut in shape.
Right.
But that's my first time. I want to do something with a superhero. So I played around with the superhero idea for a little while, and then when this design came up, I was like, I like this. And then that's what we're gonna play with. That's what we're gonna go with in later on in 2025, a Blazing Sun comic book. But he's gonna be introduced in the pages of this particular one shot with Terrence Baker's pink camera.
So one thing that I want to talk about first, Spine6 is saying. So we did a cover with Spine6 also, Edge issue 11. It was the Battle of the Bands cover. So Spine6 is a partner of ComicsBurgh. So like anything new or exciting coming out, as I said, that kick over to his show tonight, 11 p.m. on the East Coast, because he's on the West Coast. So he runs a little late, but I can always stay up till 1. Like I'll be laying here and I'll be listening to the show on my phone. And then all of a sudden I'll fall asleep and wake up and I'm like, oh, the show's over. So then I usually just watch the replay. But 11 p.m. Eastern here on YouTube, Spine6 LLC. Check it out. Like one of the most active chats I've seen on any channel.
Okay.
So I'll always recommend that show.
And Spine6 does the exclusives for ComicsBurgh?
Yes. So I mean, if like we can talk and see what else we do, but I also want to say, if everybody is doing those really exclusive covers, you guys probably need to get them slabbed, and I will recommend expert grading service for that. They did some for the Edge, and they came out really good. And the one thing that Tony does on his is he does custom labels for the books. So if you're going to get books graded, I recommend Tony. He'll give you a good deal. ComicsBurgh does have a code that I can pass along if anyone is going to give it a try. That way, like you're giving your hard-earned money to another independent person and not to the big CGSs or one of the other ones out there that seem to be having all these problems. So you see that he does have, it scrolls past the custom labeling and the custom coloring that matches the cover of the book.
Nice, very good.
Right. So with the Edge ones, and I left everything downstairs for some reason. You have the ComicsBurgh logo on the frame. So
Yeah, I
then,
gotta see about getting him some Daisy Chains and see what he could do with it.
Right. I mean, I want to send him all the ComicsBurgh books to get those graded. I mean, it's something that it's just fun to do to me. Like, it's not something that I'm going to uptick the price of the book a lot for people to get it, but it's just something nice to see, to have on the table, or to show people, hey, we got our book slab too, and Tony does a good job. So highly recommend it to hook up with him if you want to get your books graded.
Fantastic.
So I will drop that into
fantastic.
And then I'll pop up Sif's message. All right. So I missed the other segue. So the next would have been the previews, but we'll do that right now.
Yep.
So this is what
I think we got 2 weeks left. I think we got like a little less than 2 weeks left to pre-order for this month.
Yep. So you've got Daisy Chain, second print, and then the Edge issue 7. So I think this is probably the first time we've done re-releases of books with different covers, but we've never done second prints. So hopefully in the future we can do more second prints and do some special covers and things like that with really good artists that I've been trying to work with for a while, like our old buddy Brett Booth, who I'm still waiting on a cover for, and I think probably I might have it in the next 3 years or so. So in 3 years from now, 2027, be on the lookout for that Edge issue, whatever, 25 or whatever, with the Brett Booth cover, because I promised everyone, and I'm going to stick to my guns of not doing another issue 1 cover. Like, I'm going to stick to my guns. I said I wasn't going to do it. I don't like, if it's going to be a special cover, sorry, it's going to have to be another issue, because I promised that I would not do another. I did 6 covers for issue 1. I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah, Brett Booth is one of those artists that was one part of the inspiration list for doing comic book with the Kindred and stuff like that. So I mean, that's fantastic.
Yeah, Brett.
I would love to go on that. I would love to go on that list.
He like, you had to sign up for his Patreon, and then he made a list of like 100 people, and I was on the last page near the bottom. So like, wow. I said, 3 years from now, I'll ping him and say, hey, Brett, is it my turn yet? And he doesn't.
Yeah, it's great to get those covers by artists that is really part of your childhood, people that you follow. I was lucky enough to get a cover by Tyler Kirkland last year, and man, I love having that in my inventory.
Right.
You know what I mean? With the Blowtorch Tyler Kirkland cover, that's a dream come true. So I mean, a Brett Booth cover would be fantastic.
Yeah, it'll happen eventually, but I mean, I've been waiting 2 years already. So I mean, what's another 3 years or 5 years or whatever? I mean, it's like, as long as I'm still standing, I'm gonna throw a message at him and say, "Hey, Brett, my turn." Cool. Justin, did you have anything else you wanted to show or talk about?
Oh yeah. Let's see. As far as what with the current Kickstarter, or just what I'm doing right now?
Just in general, because I was going to segue. I had another segue to issue 9.
Okay. Yeah, I'm currently finishing up the outside of Ladybug. I'm doing the prep work for Red Knight 8, which is I don't have the cover posted publicly yet, but it is the middle issue of this arc I'm doing called Hero Today, Gone Tomorrow, where Red Knight meets his heroes when he was growing up, and he kind of like starts butting heads with them because they're involved in a very, very tight political situation. And he just wanted to get the bad guy, and things have just kind of escalated, and it turns into, a pretty huge brawl in issue 8. Issue 8 is, by the way, the first all like battle issue that I've done. I've been wanting to do that kind of thing since I started this series. And issue 8 is just complete like fight the entire way, and you got like different characters dealing with their own situations as they fight. And I'm just really excited. I'm getting the colors back this month, I think, for that issue, and then I'm going to figure out when I'm going to do the Kickstarter for it.
Cool, very cool. Yeah, I mean, I've picked up every issue of the book so far, including the trade. So,
Thank you.
Red Knight is a great book, and that's how we're going to segue into issue number 9. So, in issue number 9, we kind of crack open the indie verse, I'll say, and that is not a term that you're going to hear a lot. It's been used before, and every time anyone uses it, it never goes anywhere. So I'm just going to say it for now to use that. So you'll see this is a page from issue 9 where Red Knight does make an appearance, where there's a breaking news situation going on that I'm not going to show or talk about, but you'll see that when you get issue 9, where something has happened, and across the Indieverse again, they're getting the notifications. So we kind of crack open the universe. This could be due to a multitude of factors. He said we get into it in the book, but we've got Red Knight showing up. We've got Liberty from we were talking about Dan Caliban earlier. His character Liberty's in the book. We've got various other indie characters that are going to be showing up. And eventually, they're going to help us in the battle that the strike team can't fight on their own. This will also include characters from chess and other various indie books.
Incredible.
So yeah, I can't wait for people to get it. Hold on. Well, some people have seen issue 9, but not this version of issue 9, because we kind of went back to the drawing board a little bit on it. We did have an earlier page that showed some indie characters, and I decided, well, why don't I just throw some more in there? Why not? It's my book, it's my universe, and as I said before, I can do whatever I want. Nobody can tell me I can't put all these characters on this one page in this book if I feel like it. As long as Mark is willing to draw it, I'm going to be willing to show it.
I'm so excited. I'm really happy. I'm really excited to see him rubbing shoulders with your guys.
Oh yes, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Do you have that page? Do you have that page to show now?
I do, but I'm not going to show it.
Oh,
I want that other page. I'm only showing that page because Justin is here. We'll show, like, if you want to pop one next week, I'll show the chess stuff. We can go over the whole, like, most of the crossover too. But
yeah.
So I mean, I don't want to spoil too much as we go along here, because I want people to see it for themselves when it comes in, and then they can say, "Oh, man, I know that character. I know that character." So our next segue is into the Series 3 card set. So these are being worked on. Should be starting worked on next week. But I'll get these over to Ed to finalize the designs. So we've got our buddy Chaos here. And then we've got Azael. A lot of melting people in these cards here. We've got Kaze. I mean, when I was doing his powers, like it was a little complicated when I was trying to figure out how to explain how it works, that he can like turn any part of his body to mist. So like he could, as you see in this one, he can be behind something, mist through it, and then return his fingers to solid and then press a button. I thought it was weird, so I just did it like that. I'm like, okay. So then he can like use it to fly, so he can turn some of his body to mist and allow him to fly. But I think people are really going to like him once he debuts. And we've got Lays. So she's
What's her
another
name?
Laze, Laze.
Lays. Okay.
Yeah, not Blaze, Laze. Might have sounded Blaze. Did I say Blaze or Laze? Pretty sure I said Laze. So she's another kind of energy vampire where, like, we have a few characters that can absorb other people's energy, but like Randa is more redirecting it. She's just taking it. Like she's just stealing energy from any source that she can pull from.
Okay.
Then again, the fire from anywhere in her body, she can exude this energy. We've got our buddy Rahab. So his body, I mean, he's like, I would consider him to be a little bit like Colossus from the X-Men, where he's like turned metallic, only he can't turn back. So it's kind of interesting that his body is doing this from the outside in. So some of his organs are starting to turn, and that's not going to be good for him because you need fluids flowing through your body, and if they're metallic, it doesn't work. We got our guy Celios, who can generate fire from his hands.
And I love the fire.
Yeah. So he's our fired up guy. So I would consider him similar to Pyro. But Pyro from X-Men couldn't generate fire. He had to have like external sources, so like a flamethrower or a lighter. So he can generate kinetic fire from his own body. So he's kind of using like the heat from his own body to generate it. And then we've got Vual. So as before, her costume is a living creature that is kind of dormant. And the creature allows her to fire stun darts from her hands, as you see in the one image there.
So she doesn't necessarily have the edge drug. Her power comes from her costume.
I'm not going to answer that question.
Oh, so it's kind of is it like a symbiote?
Yes. So I mean, I'm not answering that because that's kind of like the secrets of the Edge. So we'll get into that later.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a symbiote, but it's like I said, it's dormant. So it doesn't have any will of its own since it's dormant. Then we have our buddy. I just forgot this guy's name. Oh, Jonathan Dance. So Jonathan is the government liaison between the strike team and the government. So he runs the power division within the government. So it's his job is to be the bureaucrat that kind of like sends out power people on missions and kind of keeps tabs on them, keeps them not really keeping them in check, but tabs on them so that when something goes wrong, he can dispatch someone to kind of clean up the mess they make. And that's it for set number 3. So set number 4 will be coming soon. That will include our buddy Yenza, the Pittsburgh Luchador, who will be part of the Edge, and that also will include Spinetix. So Spinetix is going to get 2 cards in the set. So card 1 will be the original band members from issue 11, and the next card will be the new band members that will be coming up later in the Edge.
Very awesome.
Yeah, I said is that we're trying a lot of different things here and just see what people are interested in, or most of the time what I'm interested in doing, and then seeing what happens with that next. So cool. So you guys want to spill any more tea, or is anything else you want to share?
Yeah, I want to mention Blowtorch Bad Roads is coming back to previews with the deluxe edition next month. I think Marvin has the image for that there.
Oh, let me find that. Keep talking while I find it.
Yeah. So Bad Roads was nominated for Heroic Awards as one of the best indies last year, and the response to it was phenomenal. Phenomenal. So we're going to bring it back, the deluxe edition, which is issues 1 and 2 together, plus some bonus material. For those that did not get a chance to read it, this would be your chance to catch on to it. So it'll be in previews next month. The deluxe edition with an incredible cover by Edge and which I really fell in love with. And I have bonus material and a collection of Blowtorch stuff in it. So you didn't read it the first time, definitely look to order it next month in previews.
And I just want to say again about pre-ordering books. I get a lot of messages after things go in the stores asking, "Hey, did my store get this book?" And I can't answer your question. I don't know. Firstly, and then secondly, if you didn't pre-order it, they probably didn't order it. So
that's right. So it's very important to tell your stores, I want this book. This is the Blowtorch Bad Roads Deluxe Edition. Again, it comes with bonus material. The first time the response has been incredible. Everybody loved the story, and it won for best lettering of independent comic books from the Heroic Awards, and it's definitely something for you to check out. The cover by Edge and came out fantastic for the deluxe edition, and look for it in next month's previews, and make sure to add it to your pre-order list.
Again, pre-order. When it comes up in Diamond, let your shops know as soon as possible, because some of these books will be very limited. And if you don't pre-order it, you're probably not going to get it, or you'll have to wait for second, third printings. Or you can, if it's available from the ComicsBurgh.com website, you can probably grab some books there, but it's not going to be those con exclusives or store exclusives that we're doing, or those exclusives through other means, through Spine Ticks or anything like that. So pre-orders are cool. Do it.
That's right.
All right. So want to bounce out of here. Paige, you want to tell them where to find you?
You can find me at Paige Alfred on Facebook, Project Chess. Also on Facebook, ComicsBurgh Comics, and a convention near you soon. And also in Diamond. So again, follow us in Diamonds. Follow all the new titles that's coming out, and so make sure that you're on our pre-order list and pull list.
Cool. Justin, you have any cons coming up?
Yeah, I have a couple things coming up outside of Ladybug, which I've already discussed. Red Knight 8, I'm getting that ready for a Kickstarter within a couple months. I'll make the announcement. I actually, on Facebook, just sent you 2 images.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if you can put them up or anything. But let's see. Red Knight, hopefully Red Knight 8 Kickstarter will be in the late fall, early winter, once that gets done. And I also have a comic coming up on my Substack. I am working with Shiloh Penfield on a sword-fighting courtesan called The Sword of the Courtesan. And that's from a page. We're going to debut the first scene of the comic on my Substack. You can find me on Substack, Justin Cristelli. And I'm going to be uploading the whole first scene of this comic, The Sword of the Courtesan, which Shiloh and I have been working on kind of behind the scenes. Haven't really talked about it much, but I think I would like us to start kind of getting it out there and people knowing about it. And the other one is, this is a debut. This is before the titles. This is a JC Grande cover for Red Knight 8. And this is the first time I've shown it to anybody, actually. You gotta debut here. And this issue, like I said, is the story arc Hero Today, Gone Tomorrow. And apparently a member of the Union of Superheroes, Red Knight's favorite team of superheroes, he has been in prison for years after going rogue. and he escapes and starts committing acts of terrorism. And that's when he converges to capture him with Martha Brown and his uncle Nathan. At the same time, his heroes are coming in to kind of sweep everything up and make sure everything goes away quietly. And if you know anything about superheroes, that doesn't happen at all. So it goes the opposite of quietly in issue 8. And he gets to see kind of the ugly side of his favorite heroes and during this arc. So I'm pretty excited. Also, I'm a big booster on Martha Brown, his mentor, and she does some really cool shit in this issue. So I'm very excited to kind of start talking about this. I'll announce the date for the Kickstarter soon as I finish this current one up and figure out, like, I'll get all my P's and Q's together for this.
Cool.
Oh, and one more thing. You can find my work at manospublishing.com, the Justin Cristelli Substack, and let's see. You can also buy some of my works on Amazon as well.
Cool. All right. I want to thank everyone for watching and for you guys joining in today. It's always nice to have some other people on here, so I don't feel like I'm sitting here talking to myself. All right, everyone have a good day, and we're going to hit that outro. Have a good day.